Steph's Mom Show. Wendy Lewis, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Oh, of
One
course.
cougar to the next.
I
Round.
know. We're both cougars. We like the young cubs. I saw a skit and I loved it. You called them trick or treaters. I've never heard
Yeah.
that before.
I either call them trick or treaters or fetuses.
I had a boss that called someone I dated a fetus. And when he'd come to visit me, he's like, your fetus is here. And I'm like, what? I'm not that. They're old enough to play. Okay. So there's grass on the field, guys. They're not,
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
it's funny because I'll flirt with them and stuff, especially like at work and everything. But when it comes down to it, I'm just like, I'm looking for somebody who wants to be nurtured. You need me to nurture
Right.
you? I'll nurture you.
Yes. I'm motherly too. I'm like, lay on my chest, let me stroke your hair, let me take care of you. And I think that's why younger works with me. I don't know. And I'm really giving. I think some
Yeah.
guys get older and get tough and hard, and it's like hard for them to trust again. I don't. So we got to
Yeah. And I'm
talk about
like,
what's
here.
behind you.
I'm like, have some snacks. Oh yeah, the world's in a weird place right now, so I just leave my Christmas tree up all year round because why
You
not?
guys, it's July. In case you're watching
hmm
this podcast at another day and time, it is not December right now. It is July, and you've got the Christmas tree up. But I love Christmas trees. They're beautiful. They're colorful.
Well,
You know,
honestly, too, this is like a thing from back in the day when TV wasn't as varied as it is now. They would always do reruns of sitcoms, and it would always be Christmas in July. So they'd always show the Christmas episodes in July. And so anytime anybody wants to do like an interview with me and it's during the summer months, I kind of like pay homage to see if anybody will even pick up on it. But
yeah,
also because, like I said, there's no more rules anymore. Life's weird.
yeah,
So if you
yeah.
want to have a Christmas tree up all the time, Martha Stewart probably is not going to approve. But you know what? The awkward cougar approves.
Yeah, I'm not a Martha Stewart girl. I think I'm more of an awkward cougar girl.
Yeah,
So how did you, Wendy, get into comedy? How did you start?
honestly, it was a dare from one of my coworkers at Nordstrom. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had tried so hard to get a job at Nordstrom, and at the time they weren't into hiring like fluffy people, and so it took me so many tries to finally get my foot in the door. And so when you know you're in a world where you kind of don't literally and figuratively fit in, I've always learned to win people over with humor. And if I can get you to laugh a couple times, then chances are you'll probably like me, or at least I hope so. And so one of my coworkers, I think she was just getting tired of me making jokes in the beauty department, and she goes, "Oh, you think you're so funny? Why don't you go tell your jokes across the street?" And I was like, "Okay." And I saw an advertisement on Facebook that night. No joke. I mean, that's God's honest truth. It
Wow.
was a Facebook thing to enter a comedy competition at Laughs Unlimited. And I was like, well, I've taken theater and I've had a lot of funny crap happen to me. Let's do this. So I did. And the owner let me be a part of the competition. And I came in 11th out of 12.
But that's so cool. That's like so
But I'm
courageous of
still
you.
here.
Yeah, like, honestly, it takes balls. So, like, I did stand up in Hollywood a couple times, but just tried it. It was really scary. It was really hard. I like podcasting. I like radio and where I have set questions and I'm here. My hat's off to you guys because I love going to comedy shows and I really appreciate it. I will host and introduce, but I will not stand up and try to tell jokes. I'm like freaked out. I don't know. You definitely have to be a certain person and have enough confidence to have the ability to get up there and do it.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't think of it that way. I kind of like, for me, I do appreciate the fact that your viewpoint, because I don't ever think of it from that perspective. I always think, it's like I'm trying to win people over. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I'm
yeah.
trying to get that room full of strangers to like me in less than 30 seconds.
That's hard to do,
And
maybe. That's
I've been
crazy.
in retail sales, like when you had to be like one of the fragrance people standing out on the main way. and I don't look like any of those girls. So I'd have to go out of my way to show so much personality that they'd have to be like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, so for me, I just probably it's also too because my childhood was kind of weird. So
Every comedian
um
I've ever interviewed had, like,
yeah,
a rough childhood or a rough
yeah,
start. There is a definite correlation between
yeah,
trauma making us funny, I will
yeah,
say. There so some
totally.
good comes out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can make my parents laugh or company laugh during an awkward, no pun intended moment, I could get away with it. And, all was right with the world. So,
Yeah, yeah. I try to make guys laugh to make their pants fall off if they come to my house, so that's like I'm like, "Just laugh your pants off and let's get to it." What is
I usually make them laugh before the pants even come into the thing. They're like, "Oh, your face is weird." I'm like, "Thank you."
You're funny. What is the biggest age gap that you have dated?
Oh my god. Oh, jeez.
I know. I just had a big one.
I want to say, well, my whole thing is now because my oldest son is 28, and I feel like if I date anybody, they have to at least be like a couple of years older
Older
than
than
my
your
son
son. Yeah.
because I see, like, I mean, I'll admit there's a few 24, 25-year olds, but I look at them and I'm like, this is not appropriate. I should not be thinking about you like this. Can you
I've
put
been
your
there.
shirt on, fetus?
I have
Just
been
stop
there.
it. Because I'm
I've
pretty sure I gave out fruit snacks at one of your soccer rallies. So you should probably put your shirt on, sir. Probably know your mom. Probably know your
Oh,
mom. Went to
oh
high
my
school with her. Can't be
yeah,
telling her, oh, I think your son's a hunk. He's got a really nice 12 pack there. So you need it to be washed. I can wash it. Really
yeah.
good at washing 6 packs.
I bring the fruit snacks and the chewy bars on me at all times to try to
Oh my
lure
god.
them to my cave.
I always say I was like, I got Pizza Hut coupons. Let's do this.
Yeah, baby, that's fancy. Little Caesars is all I got money for, so you're fancy. I definitely hung out with a 21-year-old recently, which is what's a 20-year age gap. And I didn't know though, like they're looking older to me, some of them, especially when they have
Yeah,
facial hair. I think they're late 20s and then they say they're early 20s. And I'm like, I can't. No.
yeah.
Like it's
But once
just
they say that they're living at home with their parents, it's usually a dead giveaway. You're like, oh, so
no,
you're
listen,
probably
I
still
date
on their
guys.
insurance.
No, right? I date guys in their mid-30s that live with their parents. Like, my standards are non-existent, so the living at
Yeah.
home isn't an age indicator for me, unfortunately.
I was like, okay, are you a sensitive person or do you have bad credit?
Uh,
Because that's how I see it. I'm like, you either really care about your parents or you have bad credit and
or
you need
they're
to
a
be there.
felon. They're a felon because
Oh.
I like felons, you know? It's like, I don't
Well,
judge.
yeah, if they're in jail, because then you always know where they are.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
probably not
which is
cheating on you.
nice. Yeah, and
Mhm.
they always send letters, which makes you feel old fashioned.
Yeah, like handwritten letters, it's
Yeah,
romantic.
yeah. That's like
I love
that. That's like that show that's on right now where like everybody's all going crazy for all the um people having relations back in the
oh,
Renaissance and shit.
I love Love After Lockup. I don't know if you've ever seen it's a reality show, like, when you date somebody
Yeah,
locked up.
yeah.
I love that show. That is my
I think
jam.
the women. I love the women because they are like hardcore. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna love him, and when he gets out, we're gonna get married, and we're gonna have all these wonderful plans. And they are just so full of
Hope.
unabashed hope, and
Yeah,
I love it. But it's hard to watch the train wreck of their hope and then the reality
yeah.
of what, like, oh yeah, I don't think he wants that.
No, he just wants your money, and then they're gonna cheat on you and lie to you, and but, like, every episode, I'm like, one of them will actually be in love, so I'll be rooting for that one couple that's
Yeah,
realistic, but,
you're like
um
you're gonna hope you're gonna break that statistic. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have a pen pal.
yeah,
It's
I
like, what
could
are you locked up for? I was like,
I know.
were you a spy? That's kind of cool. All the
I like a
others,
stalker. That's, like, effort. Like, you're putting in effort,
oh
no?
no, thank you. I don't. I don't know. I feel like
I think I'm just so single right now. I'll take anything that comes my way. A creepy guy in my
I don't know.
window, like, come in.
I was actually thinking about going to Home Depot and just
Oh.
convincing one of the guys and be like, "Hey, you want to do some heavy lifting?"
Yeah. Wait, and you're not talking about the wood. You're talking about yourself. Is that right?
Yes. I'm like, so my backyard needs a little work, sir.
Yeah, mine too.
Are you
I've
ready?
seen the reels, like, you're supposed to walk around looking lost in Home Depot or Lowe's because that's better than dating apps, and I haven't tried that yet.
Oh
Like, I
no,
might.
I mean, I was gonna go outside to the day laborers, because they're
Oh,
out
you're
there.
talking about,
Yeah,
like, the Hispanic people that want
yeah.
extra side work, and you're just like,
Any of the people out there that are waiting for work, even the guy that's holding up a sign that
but
says,
hire them as a prostitute to get with you.
"Oh no, we
No.
don't say that. We don't say that.
Okay. No.
It's
To
we're
do
doing
work.
yard work."
We're doing
Yeah,
hard work.
yeah. Because I
Naked
have a
yard
tree
work.
stump. I have a tree stump in my backyard, and it needs to be uprooted. Yeah,
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
need help,
Okay. I'm taking
sirs.
notes. I'm
I'm like,
taking notes.
sirs,
Yeah.
I've got $50 each and
Yeah.
some
In
pizza.
pesos or dollars. And, like, so you have to be sneaky, though. You can't just outright say it. You gotta go to Home Depot
No,
and be
and
like,
I
yard
ask
work.
any of them. I ask, like I said, the guy that has the sign that says, um, please give me some money, and be like, would you like some money to do some
Side work.
excavating, sir?
Yeah,
You
excavating.
know,
Some deep drilling. I
yeah,
have a deep drilling project in my
yeah.
cement
My
that needs to
pipes
be.
are so clogged, bro.
You need to
I need
unclog
some
my
help.
pipes.
I need to whoop. I need to,
What? This is
make some
charity work.
magic happen.
It's
Yeah. So
supporting, unhoused
yeah,
people and
yeah.
helping
I'm
out.
doing cougar work. I'm doing for community service. I want to make sure all the children have the ability to work and
Are
feel loved
fed,
and
have money.
appreciated.
I love that. It's just a roundabout way. It's unique.
No,
Um,
I'm really shy. I just need somebody to help me with. Just, help me. Tell me what side I have to put the gas in the car. 'Cause,
okay.
yeah.
It's that rough. Yeah. So do you
No,
have
because if you
Wendy?
look helpless, then somebody will come in and try to rescue you. It'll be like, I don't know where you should put the gas. Who can help me
I'm a
with this
damsel in
predicament?
distress for sure.
Yeah.
I need help all the time. Wendy, do you have a comedian that you've kind of looked up to or a comedy style that you think is your faves?
I kind of enjoy a wide variety of comedy. I like a lot of the physical humor. I grew up watching I Love Lucy and like Dick Van Dyke and Rodney Dangerfield and his facial expressions. But then I absolutely loved people like Sam Kinison and um, let's see, definitely oh my gosh, people like Eddie Murphy and Mitch Hedberg,
Oh
um,
yeah, I loved Mitch. Yeah.
Greg Greg Giraldo. I love him very much. Definitely, I would love a lot of those human beings because especially Greg, he worked on a completely different level. I called his comedy kind of like joke chess because he's not just telling low hanging fruit jokes. He's telling like high level, very well structured comedy, and I love that. And then
An
I
intellectual one that sometimes you have to think of and you'll get it 2 seconds later. I kinda like that.
there's a little bit of like Jim Jeffries, Ricky Gervais,
I love Jim
um,
Jeffries.
yeah, some of those other people that have the ability to tell really long stories and just make them so funny that you're hanging on the edge of your seat the whole time. I
Yeah.
admire those people. And then uh
I loved Lisa Lambanelli, and then
oh
she,
my
like,
god.
changed and got nice or something, but I loved her when she was in her Mean Girl era, and she was
I think
crazy.
everybody goes through a little bit of an evolution with their comedy. Gina Yeshe, I always say her name wrong, but she has a wonderful repertoire too of comedy. Adele Givens. She's always been consistent with her comedy. So there's a lot of really smart, wonderful people out there. But I don't know. I feel like the way comedy works is if you can make the room laugh at something that you're passionate about, you don't really have to try as hard. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
there's certain people like Jim Gaffigan's another person, how he does that little inflection in his voice when he says some of his jokes. Like even just those little subtle things can make what they do great. So
Yeah,
I'm always
the
learning.
presentation and the accent, the timing, I mean, that
Oh my
all
God,
it's
yeah.
not just the literal words, right? Like,
Yeah.
I just love comedy. I like going to Laughs Unlimited and Punchline here in Sacramento. I
Yeah.
appreciate comedians. Joe Coy, that's what I forgot. I've had him on the show, and
Oh my God, I love him.
he is so
His
funny,
crowd
and
work is so good. He's like with
yes,
Adam Ray's crowd work, Ian
yeah,
Bagg. I have sat and watched their crowd work in absolute awe. Just how effortless they are with commanding the whole crowd. And I'm like, I feel like that is so brave
yes,
because you're
off the
taking the,
cuff.
oh my God, that's like, that I feel like for comedy's sake, that's one of the most bravest things that you can do is crowd work.
It's
And
like
if
top
you,
tier.
oh my God, dude, I was like,
Yeah,
that makes you a G in my book because
no, I
people
feel
who
you.
do crowd work well and it's always fun and the crowd leaves happy and you feel like you're on the inside joke. Oh my God, those are the best. Those are the
Also, I
best.
feel like I'm a part of the show when I'm made fun of. Like, I like to be made fun
Exactly.
of. I'm like, "Oh, yay." Like, I got to get in there, and
Yeah. It
yeah.
feels like being like a part of the show and it you walk away feeling a deeper connection to those comedians too because you feel like they weren't just up there just spitting words out. You feel like, oh wow, they included us in what's happening in real time. That's cool,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and I saw one of your podcast interviews, and it brought up a great point that I just wanted to touch on for I know a lot of people have probably experienced this, especially females. You brought up a point of having a wild stage presence, which is entertaining and great, and then you get off stage, and some people don't understand that it may be a part of us, right? Because I say a lot of crazy, outlandish things too, but you also are a normal human being that wants to be respected off stage. And sometimes people have taken it a little bit too far, not understanding that the character is maybe blown up a little bit more on stage to off
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that like more recently, or is that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
when
that's
you were
why
doing?
I've kind of changed how I dress on stage now. I used to wear what I would consider more of my grown up wear, and I would wear more revealing clothing, and I wouldn't say it was bad, but after getting cornered a couple times,
Wow.
and it's weird because in my brain, I don't think even somebody of my size would have an issue with that, but
No, you're
sometimes,
hot. Everybody likes
oh,
but no, but people, but not to in a bad sense. People overstep boundaries with
oh my
everybody,
God. And you
and
would
it
think
sucks.
sometimes that they wouldn't, but I've been cornered too many times. So now I dress more like a clown. And I hate to say it like that, but I wear bright things. I wear more conservative stuff. I don't show any my ankles. You get to see my ankles now
Yeah,
because I
you're like
just
Mormon now on stage, ankles
well,
only, but
I just don't feel comfortable anymore because I've had enough people, enough individual, and not just dudes. I've had women come up and fully grab my boobs and just be like, "Ha, that's cool, right?" And I'm like,
wow. I
uh,
will
I
say I was
I don't know you
hosting an
like that, and
event.
I appreciate you, but no,
The worst I've ever had was a woman, and I was hosting a burlesque event in Old Sac, and a woman jumped on stage and straight put her hand up my skirt.
oh my
Like,
God, sweetie, I'm
yeah,
sorry, that's
they got
terrible.
I didn't have anything crazy, crazy, but just like, kind of like went there for a second. And then my co host like got her off. But people think men, but some women can be
Oh yeah.
crazy and
Oh
nuts
yeah.
as well. So
Oh
you
yeah.
you got to
Totally.
be careful. And I know it's like we want to entertain people, but then also I want everyone to remember we are humans and
Yeah.
we are not just creatures that
And I think
are.
too, people have an expectation. Because I'm a goofy goober naturally.
Me too.
If my anxiety hasn't kicked in, um, because sometimes my social anxiety will take over, and in public, the only thing I can focus on is performing and maybe a little bit of small talk, only because my adrenaline is in such a weird place. So I think
100.
sometimes people expect, like, when I get off stage, that I'm gonna be like, "Hey, yo," and I'm like, and that's not always gonna be like that. It's like sometimes it's gonna be like, "Oh my god, thank you so much, I appreciate you. Hope to see you next time." So
Yeah.
because I feel like on stage again, it's that whole thing. I'm trying to win people over like a job interview. I'm trying to give you the best of me as much as I can for as long as I can. And sometimes afterwards, I'm a little quiet.
It's draining.
So,
Well, it's a
yeah,
lot of energy. I mean, even with podcasting, I'm intensely listening. And so
yeah.
sometimes I'll take a nap after I just do podcast. I'm like, I need to I'm
Yeah.
fucking tired. Like I
I
just
admire people that can podcast because in order to keep the conversation going, you have to have a really good and engaging personality. And you already have that. And you can tell from your podcasts as well that you're
oh,
very engaging with your people and you have a good personality and you keep
thank
the
you.
conversation going. And that's not easy. So,
Well,
yeah,
I think
hats
that's
off to
why I
you.
love comedians and I get along with comedians because it's a little bit similar of we're reading the room, we're actively listening, and we want to make you maybe laugh or we're kind of hypersensitive to the people that we're
Yeah.
interacting with or talking to. Well, thank you, Wendy, both so
Thank
much for
you.
stopping by my
I
podcast. And
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I love your Christmas tree. And
Yeah, because
we'll
there's
have
no
to,
rules anymore. So just do what you want because life is short. We don't know how long we
yeah.
get. This is my first time here and I'm still learning to figure it out. But if I can make people laugh and at least enjoy the ride or make the ride a little less bumpy, then that's what I'd like to do.
I love it. And we'll tag you and it's Awkward Cougar. So
Yep.
go check out
And come
her
see me at
page.
Laughs Unlimited. Yep. I'm going to be
I
there
need
all
to come see
weekend,
you
4 shows.
too.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
It's
All
good to
right.
see you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. And have a good nap.
I know, right?